So, ladies and gentlemen, I've had this moron bothering me. He keeps sending me messages about this thing where I said Irishmen and Scotsmen and Brits, they're all British, the whole little collection of islands there. It's British. People who are from there are from Britain. And I insist that he's a racist for thinking that being Scottish or Irish is special apart from being British. I call him a racist, and he thinks that I'm a complete idiot. Well, I want to speak a bit to that. He says, "I'm not a racist. I've got many friends of many different cultures." Well, good for you. I didn't say you were a violent or even a hateful racist, did I? Racism, contrary to popular belief, does not simply mean that you go around burning crosses on the front lawn of black people. Racism means that you think that race is important. Okay? It doesn't mean you're hateful or violent. You might be an incredibly nice person who just wants to smoke weed and wear beads and drive around in a VW van or something. But you're still a racist if you think that race is important. Okay? It's not about the violence or hatred. So what we have today is a very odd phenomenon, isn't it? Multiculturalism is the dogma that your race, your culture, your local traditions from whatever stupid hamlet some ancestor might have come from is incredibly important to who you are. Not only that, but it's who you really are. You can't find who you really are without knowing your roots or whatever. You feel lost unless you know the history of your family and where you came from and stuff like this. So it's not just the evil, violent, hateful people that are racists. It's just about everybody in the university today. All the brilliant people, multiculturalists, who think that race is important. Now, as it turns out, would you be surprised to learn that those people turn out to be hateful, evil, violent? Yes, the multiculturalists. Hateful, evil, and violent. Who supports the jihad against America? Edward Said is one example of somebody who thinks that it's our fault. Edward Said comes right out and says that they are freedom fighters. They're fighting against America because they're in favor of freedom or whatever. And they're anti-imperialists, they think. This is what academia thinks of these murdering, savage Muslims in the Middle East who took out the World Trade Center. That they are just proud of their culture and they're just doing what they can to hang on to their own cultural beliefs and to defend their culture and their religion from the onslaught of a McDonald's. Well, there you go. Nice, polite, politically correct, multiculturalist racists who support insurrection and suicide bombing and bloodbath. What about George Galloway? Look at that turkey. There's an example of somebody who gets elected by spouting this type of nonsense, this multiculturalist line of crap. So, that's all I have to say. Racism does not mean violent hatred. Usually leads to it. But you can have a measly-mouthed, wimpy little racist who's trying to be everybody's friend, black, white, yellow, pink, and purple. But the thing about someone who's so spineless and measly-mouthed as that is that as soon as a dictatorship comes into power, they're going to step right in line and salute and kill Jews or whatever else they're commanded to do. Just like right now they're commanded to think that being black or being white or being African or being German or being Dutch or being Swedish is important to who you are. So when the dictatorship steps up and says now you have to kill Jews or whatever, they'll do it. Because they are racist and they do not think for themselves. They believe race is important. And that is the definition of racism. To believe race is important, not violence and hatred.